Hey everyone, how's it going? Shuffle's back here with another video, and finally we're at the last video of this little mini series. I haven't recorded a video in like a year, and I've been streaming nonstop, but I haven't been recording videos, and I just recorded all three of these Gear Raid videos consecutively within like an hour and a half of each other. So this is the last one in the series. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it and it's been helpful. If you guys do want to see more of this content, make sure you leave it in the comment section down below. I do appreciate it, and I will be checking the messages to see the feedback and see if you guys want to see more content on this game. But I've been really enjoying it. So Watcher of Realms, it's been a lot of fun. But let's dive right into it. So the last two videos were Gear Raid 3 and Gear Raid 2. We're going to wrap up with Gear Raid 1. We're going to go through stages 1 to 18, reason being stages 19 to 21 were added later and they are way more difficult. So I want to make sure that I can cover them all at once and really make sure I do a good job of it. And I don't think most people are here yet, so let's make sure we can get through these stages first. It's more likely to cover more players in the player base doing it this way than if we did it and did all of them. So let's start with 1 to 9. Again, put this on repeat in your brain if you haven't heard it in the first two videos. But these sets that drop from 1 to 9 do not exist once you hit stage 10. You can see all these sets. We click on stage 10. Oh, never mind. When you click on stage 13, it's different on this one. When you click on stage 13, those sets are all gone. So you can only... Yeah, it makes sense, actually. Never mind. Anyway, I'm not re-recording it. Anyway, the stages 1 to 12, have all the same gear sets. Once you hit 13, those gear sets disappear. So yes, you can farm legendary gear here, but don't go too crazy because once you hit 13, those pieces of gear from 1 to 12 become obsolete and you will not be able to finish those gear sets. So do what you gotta do to get to 13 before you go too crazy in gear farming. So we're not going to show the replays of 1 to 12 because I honestly don't think they're necessary. The first place really people get stuck is when they hit 13. So let's jump right into our 13 run. This floor, or this boss, is different than the other two. First of all, you're not looking for main stats on this. The main stats are the same on the gear. But Gear Raid 3 was a damage check. Gear Raid 2 was a tankiness check. Gear Raid 1 is also a damage check, but it's an AoE damage check as opposed to an air / single target damage check. So just a forewarning. If you don't have a lot of mages, you're going to be in trouble here. Also, mages deal magic damage, so they do more damage to these enemies, so keep that in mind. If you're trying to run all piercers, it's probably not going to work. So, basically, we're throwing down our AoEs. When I cleared this stage first, I already had these two legendaries, so my apologies if you don't have them. But you can use basically anybody with AoEs for this floor. You just want to avoid single target, because there are a lot of enemies. Comet, obviously a mage. She is not. That is Nyx. She is a piercer, but she does have an AoE and it hits really hard. I can show you guys the damage check here so you can see the difference between these two because they're both down at the same time. Keep in mind, my gear's outgrown these stages, so we're going to rip through these stages pretty easily. At this point, I didn't have a lot of options, so we put Brienne in, who is single target, but then she does have the ability to split and hit multiple targets with her skill 1, and she does have an AoE with her skill 3. And we have Aeon, who has a defense break, but it's decreased physical and magical resistance, which is kind of like a defense break. But she only hits up to 8 people with her ability. So I did end up taking her out later, but she was one of my only options when I was on this floor. We put a heal on this side. You can see when I cleared this, actually, I even put single target in the back here, which is kind of funny now looking back at it. I just didn't have a lot of options. We have Voltus on this side. The boss is down. We put a heal on the other side just to make sure Comet stays alive. And that's it. It's the whole stage. So just this last wave to go. We're going to clear it pretty easily. I just don't want to accidentally burn my energy doing it. But for the first one through, that's basically the strategy, is make sure you got AoEs. Just as many AoEs as you can cram in there. Make sure they're hitting the targets, and you'll be fine. You can use Mari for crowd control if you need to, but hopefully you don't have to. They can hit through that wall, too, if you're using fighters that have AoEs. 14, 15 are pretty much the same. The next big benchmark is going to be 16. You can see, unlike the other stages, once you hit 13, the gear is the same all the way through. There's no additional sets. But 16 is definitely the next benchmark. So we jump up quite a bit from 346 BP up to 389 BP recommended. But essentially the stages are the exact same. It's just the enemies get a lot tankier. So same start. Actually didn't show the damage, so I'll try and remember this time. I'll show the damage between those two. Literally the exact same start, except I put Brienne on the bottom instead of on the top, so she didn't die. Same with Voltus, put him on the bottom as well, because he can hit here. Once they get to the wall, their skills can reach. Heal on the top, heal on the bottom. Pretty basic though. And then we actually put, so here we started putting Maul in. He's only 5-star, but he did help. Didn't find my cursor. And I don't want to clear the wave accidentally, but in terms of mechanics, very simple. This is probably the easiest one in terms of placement and mechanics, but it is a gear check. Although I do find this dungeon very satisfying to watch. So that's 16 down. Let's check the stats really quick, and then we'll show you 18. So you can see the difference. He does have better gear than her, but magic damage does a lot more than piercers do. So he does 17 million. She does 10 million. Even Voltus, who is borderline ungeared, did more damage than our Maul, and Maul is significantly better. And our Brienne only did 334,000. Granted, she's single target into an AoE, but she's 6-starred. And these guys are 5-star, and she did way less than them. So ideally, and he's got a crazy AoE. So ideally you want mages, just to showcase that. Let's move on to 18. And things get tricky here. It's the exact same format. There's nothing different. It's just the damage needed goes way up. It does change. I can show you the maps really quick. Map info. So this looks exactly the same, but when we go to 19, it completely changes on 19. Part of the reason why I want to do 19 and 21 in a different video, because they are just not the same stage. It's way wider, and you need a completely different strategy, because there's also a healer on 19. So here's our 18 run. And my deployment is a little bit different here, mainly because I couldn't do it with the other team. It wouldn't work. Also, we summon Vierna. So Vierna comes back here. Kind of important, because she is a mage. So we just talked about how important mages are. If you have Vierna, you want her in this team. Ideally, you want somebody to deal like half health damage, and then her to clean up. Because if she pops her ability into a full health wave, they might not die. Also, I have Dolores for this stage, so she's there for the attack buff. And then, so you can see he started dealing damage, and then she just deleted it. Fiorna just dominated that wave. We do have Nyx down at the bottom this time, so she can also get the attack buff. And then we have Elowen healing. And at the top, we threw our Maul just for added damage. But basically, we're just clearing it with these bottom 6 tiles. Although we don't have a 6th unit down there, but you get the idea. We're gonna let this one run through. This is almost as optimal of a team as you can get down here at the bottom, with Dolores, Comet, Fiorna, and Elowen. The only thing you'd probably want to change is Nyx. HP attack defense. Gross. We did get, out of these 3 videos, we did get a good piece of gear, so we'll take it though. But let's look at the damage stats really quick, since the most important thing. You can see how important mages are. Fiorna just jumps to the head of the class with 35 million. Comet with 13. And then our piercers come in at 6, 1. That's it. 6 million and 1 million. So, ideally, mages here. Anyone that has an AoE, and you should be fine. But you do need probably 2 of them, and they've got to be at least decently geared to get through that. That's going to be it for that portion of the video. I am going to show the stats. If you've already seen the stats in the other 2 videos, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section, I guess just generally how you're doing, but mainly if you like seeing some Watcher of Realms content. Because if you do enjoy it and we get some good feedback on it, I could do more videos on it. Don't forget to check out the Twitch as well, because that's where I do most of my content. I've been streaming it almost every day. I've been taking Wednesdays and Saturdays off, but I've been streaming the other 5 days for like 8 hours a day. So make sure you check that out. Alright. Nyx, you guys have already seen in the previous 2 videos. She's not very well geared. She's fast at 241, and she does have 15k attack, but she only got 60 crit rate and 213 crit damage. You should be easily able to duplicate that. I need to re-gear her, but I'm not using her as much as I was, so she's not top priority for me. First mage up is Comet, and he is on double broken set, so make sure to go for stats. You don't need to go for sets. Obviously, if I had a set here, like if I had a good... What's this called again? If I had a good fatality ring, I would use it to finish this set. But it works as is. Same thing on the left. I don't want an HP % piece there. I would love to have an Annihilating Might piece, but this is fine. I got him the stats. He does need a little more crit rate. He's only at 84, but he is AoE, so it's less important. Plus 82 crit damage with 15k attack and plus 128 speed. He's on a crit damage main with 2 attack pieces, and that's pretty much it for him. The star of the show is Fiorna. She absolutely demolishes 18. I don't know if I would have been able to clear it without her, but I hadn't to that point. So if you have her, she makes 18 very easy. Attack and crit. Crit, attack, crit damage. Crit rate, crit damage on attack main. Crit damage with crit rate and attack. And attack with crit rate and speed. This I would prefer crit rate and crit damage. Reason being is that speed does her no good whatsoever. If you check her skill 1, attack speed bonuses do not affect basic attack, and that's really the only time you want speed, so don't worry too much about that. You can go with 0 speed and it's fine, but you do want her skilled up, and mine is not. So I guess that's important to know as well. And then the healers, less important here. You can use any healers. I will flash these up if you want to pause the video. You're more than welcome to check. The only one that was important was her. And you want as much attack as on her as possible. Mine's actually a little low. I do have attack set on the left. This piece, I haven't decided what I want to do yet. If I want to go really high rage regen, because it does have a good attack substat, and it's got a really good speed substat on rage regen, so I might leave this on here. I'm kind of toying around with whether or not to leave it on or switch it to attack, so that's why that isn't. But the other two pieces are attack because her heal scales on attack. So you want to stack as much attack and attack speed on her as possible with some rage regen to get it the biggest uptime possible that you can for her. And she makes a big difference there. I don't know, again, even with Virna, I don't know if I would have cleared it first time around without her. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope to hear from you guys in the comment section and on Twitch. And we'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye for now.